Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today is a pretty good day because we're gonna remove the engine, gearbox and the suspension. Yeah, I know it's pretty big job, but I think we can do it. First, we're gonna remove everything from the top, so all the wiring, the throttle cable, and I'm probably forgetting a lot more stuff from the top. Then we're gonna leave the whole car. And my plan is to drop the engine, gearbox, and the suspension all in one part. I think this is the easiest way to do. If you are doing just the engine, then it's probably easier to get the hoist and pull the engine out. But this way, when we drop it, I'm just gonna lift the rest of the body and push it back. And then I'm gonna leave the engine on the floor, and I think it's gonna work out pretty good. But we're gonna see how this is gonna turn out. So without further ado, let's start removing this engine. Let's go. Okay, the things I forgot, but now they're unhooked, but I forgot to say at the beginning is a starter motor. It needs to be unhooked because that's pretty important. A lot of sensors here, like this one, this and that. The vacuum booster from the brakes and some sensors here for oil, for coolant, and the gas lines. I forget about that, but now it's everything disconnected, I think. So it's time to leave the car and start working from underneath. Okay, we drained the brake fluid and the brake lines are covered and on the side, so that's done with that. Next, we're gonna remove bolts on this ball joint so that we can remove the front upper control arm. There are just two bolts holding it. So when we bolt that, hopefully we can just pull it through this. Then we are gonna remove the shock absorber and you're gonna remove a sway bar mounts, and then everything is gonna come down. Then we need to remove the steering bracket down there, and I think that we are done with this side. But if I forgot something, I'm gonna tell you. So that's the plan of attack. Let's try to do it. Hopefully there's not as much rusty bolts as this looks, but we're gonna find out. Okay, if we have this kind of joint, they can be moved, and I have this long extension. Then you can from the top of the engine go right down to that nut, but you need some special tools, but you can do it from the below. But if you have some tools like this, use it. It's gonna make your job a lot easier. Okay guys, I thought I could just use a hammer for this tie rod, but at the end the tools that are made for that job really come in handy, and without this I couldn't remove tie rod. So if you don't have tools like this, be good with some people because they were gonna borrow you and then you can continue working. So now I can remove the tie rod, remove finally upper control arm, and then we are done with this side. But we have basically the same thing once again, and then we're gonna do the transmission or the gearbox. We're gonna remove the clutch cable and then probably mount, and then we are gonna come back to this, and hopefully it should all just drop down. We will see. Okay guys, the upper control arm is out and everything is disconnected. Please just be careful when you are removing upper control arm. Be careful these shims on the bolts. There are two bolts and they each have a lot of these shims. So just be careful when removing so you don't drop them. Okay, so now I'm gonna drain the power steering fluid and disconnect some hoses, then we are gonna go on transmission. Let's get it. A good trick if you need to clean the mess, I collect the chips from wood when I saw or when I cut trees. I collect it and then I use it for this kind of mess because it absorbs everything, so it's a lot easier to clean later. Okay, we disconnected the power steering hoses, so one's go right this in the tank and the other one goes to motor down there. So we are disconnected, we are put that on the side, so when everything drops down these don't get pinched. Now we finally go on the transmission. Now we need to remove these three bolts. You just want to remove these outer bolts and the inner leave it how it is. And we have three of that bolts and then the shifter is out. So guys, we are underneath the car. We need to remove a clutch cable, right this, and we need to remove these bars that are holding the cross member. Then we have two bolts here and two bolts here that are holding the gearbox in place, and we are gonna use the jack and jack it up. Okay guys, I think we disassemble everything. Now we are back here to remove these two bolts, bolt here and the same on the other side. But don't forget to put the jack stands underneath the chassis. I'm gonna do it right now because the chassis is going to fall when you remove those four bolts. So just please be careful and let's do it. when the people ask me why restoring my Lada, this is the reason, because this shouldn't happen. Well, guys, finally engine and gearbox and everything with it is finally out. Whew, it was a little bit hard, but we are done with that. So guys, if you have someone to help you use it, I just want to show you that you can do it yourself. And this is the point of this project and this channel. You can do it yourself. I just want to show you that because this is my first time doing it, and it's come out relatively easy. So guys, just I want to say that you can do it yourself, but if you have someone to help you use it, you're not gonna regret it. Let me show you what we're gonna do in the next video. We are gonna remove everything else. Now this is empty, it's cool, and we're gonna remove everything. And we're gonna start working our way back. We need to remove the rear differential and everything inside the car. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and see you in the next video.